Today I want to talk about identity shifting. I feel like this has been the theme of the past month of my life. And I've been feeling called to kind of isolate myself from everyone. And then also I've been changing a lot of my actions and behaviors to match the version of me that I want to be. Like going to sleep earlier, going to the gym regularly, doing cardio regularly, spending more time creating content versus consuming it, and just focusing on my goals a lot more. And instead of doing the pleasurable activities that make me feel comfortable and happy, I'm really forcing myself to kind of surrender and sacrifice some things in order to bring in the new identity and the new life that I want. Like, it felt like the universe was just telling me to give up as many sources of pleasure as possible. So I haven't been eating out, and I haven't been going out with friends. I haven't been doom scrolling, like just getting rid of the things that are comfortable and make you feel happy, and replacing them instead with things that are leading me to where I want to be. Like healthy habits, like working out, cooking, making YouTube videos. And I've done this before, I've gone through this process before, but I'm back to the part where you have to eliminate all the old habits. And even like music, like I've only been listening to music that has positive lyrics. I haven't been listening to any music that has negative lyrics. I've been listening to a lot of affirmations and chakra healing music. I was like, let me try to only get pleasure from meditating and creating content. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been perfect, but I'm really close. Like, I really haven't been eating anything for pleasure at all. I eat for sustenance. I haven't been listening to negative music. I haven't hung out with people. And then also I've been going through this internal battle because I saw my ex a few weeks ago. And so it kind of brought out this old version of me that was very attached to him and loves him and wants him in my life in some capacity because we just get along so well. It really felt like it brought out the old version of me who had an unhealthy attachment to him though. And so there's been like that part of me in my head who is ruminating a lot over him and over our connection and wondering if there's a way to have a friendship. And then there's this other version of me, my new identity, who isn't attached to anything. Yeah, I feel like these two versions of me have kind of been battling in my head. And obviously the version of me that is attached to things, it doesn't want to die. So it's like trying to win. And yeah, I've just been struggling. I'm like, why can't I just do whatever I want and do what feels good? Why do I have to like choose to be this new version of me? But the new version of me feels way better. Like, that energy feels so much better, and I enjoy being in that headspace so much more. But then when I'm in the old version of me, she doesn't want me to be the new version of me, and it like hurts to think about being the new version of me, if that makes sense. This is a process that I've gone through many times in my life, I realize now, and I used to think that I had bipolar disorder. I mean, I still kind of think I do, but I don't really believe in the way that society labels mental disorders. Bipolar disorder is very much genetic and it runs in my family. And I do believe I had it. Like, I believe I had what society calls bipolar disorder. I just don't believe that it's permanent, and I like think of it more in a spiritual way. But I remember feeling like I had like 3 different brains in my head. Like, there was my depressed self, there was my manic self, and then there was like somewhere in between. But now I feel like my depressed self, that was like the old me that was dying. My manic self was like a glimpse of the future and like the high vibrational version of me. It's interesting though, because back then there was a version of me that was really hard to live in, and I was very depressed and anxious and hated myself and having suicidal thoughts. You know, like my depressed self was like really difficult to live with. But now what's happening with the two identities is they both feel good. So it's really taking even more discipline to let go of a life that wasn't that bad and a version of me that wasn't that bad. Even though it feels so much worse than like the identity I'm stepping into, the me that I was a year ago like was still really happy and content. And so it's interesting as you continue healing and evolving, it's like the past selves that you have to let go are almost harder to let go of in a way, because they're also like enjoyable to be in. They're just not as enjoyable as the future self. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But yeah, to past me, life was great. It was just dependent on certain things. Like, it was dependent on me being in a relationship. That's what brought me joy, and just relying on certain things for pleasure. But most of the time I was happy. There were certain thoughts that would cause me pain and cause me suffering, but most of the time I wasn't thinking about those things. And then this higher version of me is just like always happy and nothing causes me pain, and I'm not dependent on anything. I don't want anyone specific in my life. I don't want anything specific. Yeah, but it's so weird because you do have to consciously let go of the other version of you. And so this whole month I've really been working on aligning my actions with this future version of me, and I was doing a really good job of that. And then I realized that I have to also align my thoughts with the future version of me. So I was ruminating a lot on the past and my past connections. Also, a part of me that I'm letting go of is the way that I'm so analytical and I logically think about things. And I think it really helps me get to where I am now. And so many of my videos have come from the fact that I just like sit around analyzing the world way too much, and then I can kind of figure out how to heal certain things. I don't know how to explain it, but like a lot of my videos come from the fact that I sit around over analyzing everything. So I almost feel like it's a strength in a way, and it's a part of my identity. But honestly, I'm at a point now where I have so many video ideas in my phone. It could last me 5 years, and I don't need to like keep coming up with more, honestly. I also feel like me being so logical and analytical, it's how I try to keep myself safe. Like I try to analyze the people in my life and if they're good for me and what kind of person they are. Yeah, there's just like a lot of like overthinking that happens in order to try to keep myself safe. And again, it's no longer unenjoyable. So that's like what kind of makes it harder to let go of in a way, is that I still have fun being that version of me, but I also know that I want to like step into this new identity and live this new life and have a new job and be self-employed and be rich. And I feel like in order to do that, I had to let go of this old version of me. But yeah, I think I'm meant to let go of like this logical, over analytical part of my brain, at least for the majority of the time. Like I shouldn't be in that part of my brain the majority of the time like I am now. And I'm supposed to be more present and just trust the universe to take care of me. And I don't need to analyze everything in order to keep myself safe. I can just trust the universe and be present in every moment. And I feel like I am becoming more present. And it's even, I feel like it's making me worse at my job as a server because I'm so present. As a server, you kind of have in the back of your head all the things you have to do for certain tables. But it's like I've been in a more present headspace lately, so sometimes I forget little things. And so yeah, I've just been noticing that like my perspective really is shifting to one of being more present, and it's making me worse at certain things in my life, but I'm not supposed to be good at those things anymore. Even the way that I make my YouTube videos, like a lot of times I have like certain points that I want to hit. And so then when I go to film, I'm kind of like stressed out and I'm like, I want to make sure that I say all the things I want to say. And I never do. And I realized I have so much more fun filming videos when I don't really have like points that I need to hit and I just sit down and ramble to a camera. It's just a way more enjoyable creative process than when I'm like trying to make something perfect and make something be a certain way. And I'm moving into this version of looking at things like whatever comes out is what's meant to come out, and whatever happens is what's meant to be, and everything that happens is for the best. And I don't need to force things to be a certain way based on what my logical mind thinks things should be. So for the past 9 months, I've been journaling a lot, literally writing down like almost all of my thoughts in my fucking notes app on my phone and computer. And it's been really helpful for identifying my beliefs and my thoughts and really just like getting to know myself and realizing who I am and what I think about all day and what my personality is. Like it really helped me get to know myself, but then also helped me to identify my beliefs and the things I want to change about myself. And then I would just set the intention and then it would happen within a few weeks. Like I'd be like, oh, I have this unhealthy mindset that I want to change, and then I would be able to change it. And that's kind of the process I've been going through the past 9 months. And journaling has been really helpful for that. Being aware of like every thought that I have and reflecting on every thought that I have. But now I realize that I'm stepping into this new identity of being really present and not overanalyzing everything. And so I need to get rid of this habit I have of writing down all my thoughts. And it's actually really hard because I've been doing it for so long now. And I'm like, I don't know why I think I need to write down everything that I think. Like, obviously I don't write down everything that I think, but like I write like pages every single day of my thoughts throughout the day. But I'm just like, if I need to know the past thoughts, like they'll come into my head again. Like I don't know why you think you need to write everything down. So yeah, that's a habit that I've been trying to let go of. in order to be this more like present version of myself. But I noticed for the past 2 weeks since seeing my ex, I've been ruminating on my ex a lot and thinking about the past a lot and thinking about our relationship and thinking about who he is. And I realized that the highest version of me would spend most of their time thinking about how much I love myself and how much I love my current life and soaking in the present moment and working on creative projects and thinking about how to make the world a better place. And so once again, I'm having to really direct and control my thoughts and control the thought patterns that I allow myself to go down. It's reminding me a lot of when I first was trying to heal from being really sick, and I had to really control my thoughts and control the media that I consume. I feel like I'm really going through that process again now. It's weird because at certain points in the journey, you have to let go of being like a control freak and trying to control everything and change your emotions and change everything. But then other times you do have to control the thoughts that you're having in a way and like help yourself to have more positive thoughts and have better thoughts and have better habits. And meditation is really helpful for that. It's really helpful for rewiring your neural pathways. And so yeah, I've just been spending more time having the thoughts of like that the new identity would have. Getting my joy from not the past and not the past relationships that I've had, deriving my joy from the present moment instead of from the past or from the future. Trying to get it from the present moment as much as possible and just being present. And then yeah, also just getting my happiness from myself, from who I am, from my self-love, and spending more time just thinking about myself, how much I love myself instead of how much I love someone else who's no longer in my life. So yeah, I feel like I'm back in that phase where you have to like rewire your thought patterns and also be really mindful of all the media that you're consuming and all the ways that you're spending your time, all the habits that you have. I need to now align my thoughts with my new identity and actually rewire my thought patterns so that I'm not, first of all, not analyzing as much, not being as logical, and I'm just trusting the universe and I'm being really present. When I was trying to stop controlling reality and change reality, I started to wonder, like, is it, like, do we really need to change our thought patterns and change our habits and be so forceful and disciplined and sacrifice? And so I'm kind of going through these lessons again and solidifying them and learning that yes, there is definitely a time for changing your thoughts and beliefs and really spending your time in a mindful way and sacrificing the things that bring you pleasure, because the things that bring you pleasure and comfort are going to be the things that feel comfortable to the old version of you, and you have to kind of force yourself to act like the new version of you in order to become that. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I feel like this whole month has just been really focused on me stepping into this new identity. I've been meditating, I've been visualizing the life that I want. For a while, I didn't feel like doing meditations where I was like visualizing my future and trying to manifest things, because I was just learning to be content where I was at and not feeling like I need anything outside of me. But now I feel like my soul does want more, and I'm meant to have this experience of having money and being able to give it to people. So I've been doing visualization meditations again, and I think I'm gonna make my own affirmations again. I recently bought a mini trampoline and I've been going on that. It's called rebounding. So I've been rebounding for like 30 minutes a day, and I'll just like listen to positive music and envision the life that I want. And so that's sort of like meditation in a way. And then when I go to the gym, I just like imagine myself being in that identity of like being a millionaire, being really fit, and just all the things that I want. And so I'm just really trying to spend as much time as possible like really sitting in that identity and feeling that way, and just walking around being like, I'm a millionaire, I can give money to people, I can give money to strangers, I'm very warm and friendly to strangers, and I love my life and I feel so content and secure, and I am a person who helps a lot of people and who has a lot of knowledge that I can share with the world, and just like sitting in that identity as much as possible. That's kind of what I've been doing lately, and I've been having to sacrifice a lot, but it really hasn't been that bad. It's been a good experience. It just is interesting, like you have to really consciously do it. For a little bit I was just confused because I was like, which identity do I choose, almost, because I was just like, is it okay if I am attached to the idea of being friends with my ex? Like, is there a reality where I get to have both? And I think maybe there is, but I have to let go of the idea of it. And I also have to be present in my current reality, which means not being attached to a certain idea of the future. I feel like I probably sound like I'm contradicting myself a lot, But I did release attachment to any specific type of future. But then I also feel called to like envision a certain type of future for myself. And I do feel like that's what I'm meant to experience in this lifetime. But I know that I can be happy either way without it. But I think the key is really to give up attachment to it and be present. And I'm very happy in the present moment. I really love my life. But instead of spending time ruminating on the past and identifying with the past, I'm really focusing all my energy on the present and the future, but mainly the present, because I'm really trying to train my brain to get its joy from the present moment and to be present and to not overanalyze everything. That's what I've been working on this month, and it's really working. I feel like my brain is really changing and becoming a lot more present. But I think honestly, like, I did need to grieve my old self. I did need to reflect on my relationship. I cried about it a lot. I felt sad about it a lot. And I think it is a necessary part of the process. Like, I really had to grieve that version of me and that version of my life and that connection that I had with my ex. Not that it's over. Like, I feel like it's just continuing on a like spiritual level, and us being apart is what's best for both of us. And I'm so grateful for everything that he brought to my life and the way he was a catalyst for my healing. And I just feel like I'll see him in the next lifetime, and it's okay. There's no time limit on things. Like, sometimes I would feel like if I love someone that much and I feel so drawn to them and I get along with them so well, shouldn't I spend as much time as possible with them? Sort of like, isn't it a shame to just not talk to them and let them become a stranger? But then it's comforting to me to remember that we're these immortal beings and we have infinite lifetimes, and I'll see him in my next lifetime, and we literally have all the time in the world to be together. But for right now, it's best for my soul's growth to be alone and to have this type of relationship with him where we don't have a physical relationship. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment. I love your comments. They really mean a lot. Let me know what this month has been like for you. I feel like September is a big month of like transformation and identity shifting for everyone. So I would love to hear about your experience with that.